it, the issue is for Exo, you got to show some flex. Like you're gonna have to show one
Give me
roll
a snap
here.
player. Give me a snap. That's what I want to see this game.
Yeah, okay, cool. Pretty happy with the snap. Deals with the Phoenix, so it deals with the Supernova. You can offer some control versus the puck as well. Blink Shot is actually relatively decent. It's definitely not instant way to catch the puck, but that's where maybe Monkey Boundless into then the snap follow-up. Mortimer Kisses, great with the Black Hole, and also some burn damage for the Visage. Yeah, I really wouldn't hate the puck. I sorry,
The
hate the
Treant's
snap.
also good for another reason, right? Like I've mentioned why it would be good in lane paired together with a Visage if that's the avenue that Empire go down. I hope it is. But also just the living armor, toss it onto the puck if it is a mid tiny is going to be quite nice. How do I feel about Pugno? Pretty good, honestly. Like it's almost all magic damage right now, so you're going to get good value out of it. It's not the BZZ Pugna though. But the Nether Ward's going to be really nice. They don't have any great Nether Ward hitters, which is always going to be super solid. And yeah, you even a lot of Empire's heroes love to spam out abilities as well, right? Soul Assumption, Puck. You have to be careful with how much health you've got before running in and casting Overgrowth. You can't save Supernova until the very end to cast it. So it just makes life a little bit more challenging. I really like this pick.
Radiant team ban.
Let's see. You can. I would like Empire to have a carry that can clear the Enigma summons. Conquer always stands out, but I think you are needing.
You were about to say Sven, weren't you?
I just think they need a bit too. No, I was not going to say Sven. Actually, I don't know. That heroes of like yikers. I feel like you need tower push, but you need some way to deal with cleave, and I also think you
10
need to make
seconds
sure you can
remaining.
man fight Tiny and Monkey. So I feel like there's still a lot of roles that need to be
5
covered with
seconds
this
Radiant team
carry for
ban.
retrograde.
Can they bristle? I wouldn't hate a bristle this game. Phoenix to buff you up. Lots of damage to help out Visage. Frontline can get aggressive in
10
the laning
seconds
stage if you need to.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
5 seconds remaining.
Why not? Why not?
You are going to be spamming abilities into a Pugna, but whatever.
Yeah, that could be a bit of an issue.
What else can you really go though?
Yeah,
Lifestealer, maybe.
I'm 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 thinking Lifestealer. I don't think you're too worried about Black Hole because you
When
have.
Razor's in the pool,
It's true. What you feel like extra you can pick up a razor somewhere?
sure.
I guess it. Yeah,
Enigma
yeah, yeah.
4 or 3 and Tiny's a 4.
Yep. Um, I mean, they can even raise themselves if they really want to. You go Scepter, helps take objectives. Nice range melee combo. That's a really good lane with the Dream Protector. It's a good answer to the Tiny carry. If it is a Monkey King carry, then Wukong can be a bit frustrating to play into, but definitely not the worst. Helps deal with the Eidolons. I'm fine even if Empire consider going Razor.
Dire team pick.
I just want to see them get value out of this Phoenix. That's all. And I feel like Razor doesn't really. I'm still thinking this is a Treant 4, remember? Like,
Sorry,
Phoenix
you are.
is
Yep,
so
yep, yep.
punishable
10
in
seconds
lane, right? Just
remaining.
because of the long cooldown of the fiery spirits. So you might be able to
5
save from
seconds
one
remaining.
attempt, but then they just reset,
Radiant
wait
team
5
pick.
seconds, and then go again. Okay. Something else that's ruined by break, and it is a pretty horrible laner. So
I don't know.
to me, this just pushes up the priority for the Enigma to be a core now, just because you're not going to get punished. You're going to be able to farm. You're going to be able to
10
take away
seconds
Spectre's
remaining.
farm. It
5
means that you
seconds
can
remaining.
enable someone like the Tiny who wants to be roaming. So I think it's Monkey 1, Pugna 5, Enigma 3, Tiny 4. We're just waiting for the mid laner that's going to be solid against all these heroes. Lena. Give me a Lena.
Just concerned about Lena into Spectre. I think it can be a bit awkward depending on the farm. Just getting on top of
You
it
can get
instantly.
break.
You may now
Okay,
select
that's
your
fine too.
heroes.
It's going to be an offlane Viper. Okay. So it's a 4 Enigma, and it is a mid-tiny, like we were expecting towards the beginning of the game. So really looking to bully out the Puck a little bit, take advantage of the fact that Puck's armor is pretty awful in the laning stage, just through that right-click harass with the tree. But, like I was saying, this tree and protector is going to be able to provide him with that little bit of a safety net, right? The living armor obviously makes those trades nowhere near as bad for the Puck. Every little bit of armor that you get that brings you further away from 0 is just more and more advantageous. Up until about 5, I think it really starts to drop off pretty significantly. But those first 5 points are really valuable. So I think James, even if he's just got the 1 point, is going to look to spam that one out. But it feels like he's got many different areas that he needs to be focusing on, right? Because it depends what the communication is like from X3. If they see the living armor on the Puck, then they're like, okay, they got nothing defensive for Shachlo. Let's dive in. So we'll see. We'll see what they're able to do. I'm preferring X3's draft. Am I? I don't know. Both of these drafts seem odd to me, to be honest.
I think it's I'm heavily favoring Empire. I'm also starting to get a little bit delusional, but I reckon it's like an 80-20 out draft. I feel like fights are going to look very difficult for X3 to take. I think let's start with this. My one concern for Empire is the Spectre Phoenix lane, and if they fall ridiculously far behind, I feel like the Spectre isn't going to be able to provide them what they are hoping this hero will. But I do not know what X3 are going to do as soon as Spectre uses Haunt, and they see where the Enigma is, they see where the Pugner is. The fight just, it's broken. What you have, the way you take a fight after that happens.
Life Drain the Haunt Illusion. Easy. It's the elusive Aghanim Shard game for Pugner, just to clear out the Spectre Haunt Illusions.
Oh, back down to bottom we go. I mean, it's a Treant Protector, so why not just beeline to the lane that he's going to be in? I'm all for it. Like, just keep giving me these battles.
I'm cycling between the vision just to see if they have... Okay, they see each other.
Well, they don't have Puck down here, so it's a 4-on-5. Currently, it's favoring Empire. A lot of damage on an Esphir. The carry on X3 and a 1. More Soul Assumption. We'll give the first blood over to Empire, and, well, Shachlo claims the
Didn't
kill.
even need the Puck.
No, sir. Okay, so, sure, your life drain, cool. But I don't think Enigma is going to be able to have a good fight. I think you have plenty of ways to be able to go through BKB Black Hole and Overgrowth and late game Coil. They do not deal with the they do not deal with the Puck. We've got more action breaking out.
You don't have dive either on
BZZ. Dead, yeah.
The other thing...
Oh, you put Fairy Fire.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The other thing is, Spectre doesn't really solve that tower issue or that Eidolon clearing issue that you were asking for.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. I think the lane is not good. Like, I do not think this lane is going to go well for Empire.
Let me see. X3 mid, again, it's going to really be dependent on this Treant, right? Like, level 2, he should look to get living armor. How is that going to even out mid lane? I don't know, man.
Are you expecting Natty Narwhal to put more points in tree, or are you just expecting this to be one level tree?
More points tree, I'd say. You want to abuse what Puck's weak at, and that's being right-clicked.
But doesn't your position too tiny needs to burst, right? If you put too many points in your tree, then your combination is too low of a level.
Sure, but we're also in this sort of situation where what's going to happen if you don't go that build? What are you actually worried about? Your towers have a hard time of dying. You're going to have a hard top lane for Empire. So maybe you can just go super greedy, right? Like the Monkey King is a core, and the Tiny is a real right-clicking core, and the Enigma is a real late-game core, because how are they actually punishing you?
Do you think they win late on X3? I don't think they have a hope late game. I don't think you do
against an Enigma?
Yeah, well, you got BZZ is going to die again. So this, again, is definitely the big thing for X-Ray, this top lane. I think you're fine with the Enigma. Your Puck's going to be pretty much untouched. He should be able to get level 20.
Yes.
So 25 is going to come out really early. You've got Overgrowth as well. Position 4 Treant Protector is going to have like a fine blink timing. I don't think the big black hole is going to be as much of a threat. They've got no answer to Supernova. I think Dai's team fight is better. And
You can like Echo Saber, and you're gonna have Hyperstone on the Tiny to
Look,
be able to deal with the Supernova.
Hyperstone, what? This is not a one.
I'm telling you, man, he can
build.
go super greedy. He can.
It's not gonna happen.
What's stopping him?
They need a tempo controller. Your Viper can't make
Well, what?
plays.
What's the response? Like, what are you needing to make tempo against? I still think they can take like, yeah, that's my opinion.
All right, let's see it. I'm fully invested in Empire now. I know you're going to be wrong, so it's okay. Like I'm not too concerned. Well, I'm not concerned. Especially if they kill a Nick. No!
Wow, the bias coming through from my co-caster is just it's too much. They've got multiple break avenues as well, not just for the Spectre, but for the Visage as well. You have Viper, you can go Silver Edge on either Monkey King or Tiny.
Retrograde is getting bodied. I think that. Alright. That lane's not looking good.
Who's getting bodied?
Retrograde, he's. Alright, go. 99 well, it's a early bottle.
Would it surprise you to see that he's ahead of the Monkey King in net worth?
Kind of. I haven't watched this bottom lane, how it's shaping up. I mean, is this a lane that X3 can really penalize the weak lane of the Visage?
Nope. That's why the Treant was such a good pick. They're probably even going to kill SMN here.
That they will. Giving more levels to Shash though, and he might be able to do a bit of damage to Nezfir if he wants to. Doesn't have the greatest resources on Shash though, so I wonder if he's just going to look to reset surely.
Yeah, I mean, especially against a Monkey King, right? He's got Mischief. If you're good with your timings, you're going to be able to dodge that damage coming through from the Visage with the Soul Assumption. They see the TP coming back on the Pugna. And he's actually looking to up the tempo perhaps a little bit more. He's got 2 points in Nether Blast. I don't hate it. I probably don't want to see more points than that, though. He might actually just die straight away again.
Oh, no. It's not good. Not good at all. Top lane as well. The Viper had to TP back to base. They've got the Enigma jungling at the top side of the map, so they just... I think they were just aware. I mean, an Enigma not showing, so they just got aggressive on him. BCC wasn't level 3. I think Retrograde had 2 points in the dagger at that stage. So yeah, they just ran at the Viper, pushed him out, and now it's giving Spectre a decent time in this lane.
James hasn't even had to go any points in the Living Armor, and Puck is still winning that mid lane. I don't know how Puck is winning that mid lane. He just got a solo kill. Like, they're just outplaying him. Simple as that.
Simple as that. You could be wrong. It could be that.
Radiant's middle
No.
tower is under
Bro, Tiny beats Puck in lane. Let's be real.
It's what percentage you putting it? 60,
70.
40? Nah, no. It's not that bad.
I think it is.
Oh, Parky's having... I mean, we saw Natty Narwhal with the Keeper of the Light in Game 1, so he's getting some revenge. Of course, I mean, Empire did win Game 2, so I guess back-to-back revenge for Squad. He's already got level 6 now as well, and we do see Radiant have very good vision control around mid. Double wards place, so both the power runes will be scouted out. Natty Narwhal is going to try and drop the combo, but now with James connecting to mid, just trying to poke and prod and force Natty Narwhal not to really be able to fight by the power rune.
I'm just trying to see what they're going to go for again. I mean, this is the... I feel like the third game in a row that Sugarat has gone for the Atos, and I'm not sure if it's going to be any better this game than previously. You might be able to say, oh, but it can stop a Puck. He can still phase shift.
Oh.
And he might actually be dying here against, again, a pretty weak lane.
Give him the clap. Give him the high five. Come on. One more Fire Spirit. It might tick him out. They get the kill into the Phoenix regardless. Now an Enrink It's got some Eidolons closing the distance, but Retrograde, with that dagger movement speed, he's going to be able to get out of harm's way. He can, if he wants to, he can TP back to base, fill up, and then haunt out. If he feels like that's a play, maybe wait for enough Blade Mail gold to do that. Although he just got Sylvan Clarity, so not going to be the case. Bottom lane,
Yep, no
SMN. In a little bit of trouble, Shashlo oversteps the mark, and Nesfir is able to set up for the double bound the strike, and even wants to pursue for some more aggression. 2 points in the Primal Spling is going to hold them down a little bit, but won't really be able to lock onto the Visage.
I'm a little surprised again that they didn't prioritize the Nether Ward just that bit more, right? You're up against the Soul Assumption, lots of damage coming out. You want to make sure that you're just punishing him, right? Like, a Visage doesn't want to be taking more damage than necessary in the laning stage, and that's exactly what a Pugna does. So the fact that they went 2 points Nether Blast, I feel like was kind of unnecessary. If you want it at level 4, then maybe, but level 3, that really feels like maybe a couple of kills wouldn't have happened if he just skilled it a little bit differently.
They get lucky. Top or bottom. Bottom again for squad. This is huge. Just going to look to rotate top with this. Viper's going to be an immense amount of pain. Gets the Viper Strike at least out onto BZZ. And the damage over time's not going to be enough. And meanwhile, bottom lane, they get another kill as well into the Pugna. BZZ will tick out in the end, but they're diving Nesfir. Shashlo and James combined together. Unable to get the tree dance off. A TP's going to come through for Natty Narwhal. There's a big rotation for Shashlo, protected enough. And he should be able to get out of harm's way. Familiar's drop. Natty Narwhal still going to continue the chase. Can he close the distance? Doesn't have, well, now with the Grave Chill, does not have the movement speed advantage, but the Avalanche is back up. And he also gets the assistance from Nesfir.
Those Familiars, though, they're going for the chase. Ooh.
Appreciated.
Right. He's able to get salved up.
Oh, I was on Lossets. It's big rotation from Natty Narwhal, though, because he was struggling mid. Networth is actually not looking too crazy because Puck's got a big advantage, but the fact that he was able to TP down bot, how about killing off Shashlo for the first time? Who got that streak to? Okay, was the Monkey King. 352 gold given over to the carry on X3.
Puck going into that Witchblade. It's going to be very nice against a lot of these heroes that want to just be skirmishing through right clicks as opposed to any kind of spells. So I really enjoy that build coming through from him. Of course, squad Grandmaster on the Puck, so happy to defer to him for any kind of Puck itemization calls at this stage. If you're Grandmaster and you still don't know how to skill up, well, maybe you should rethink your choices.
All right, let's... Where do we like to see X3 utilize his Black Hole? Because Enring has it at a decent time. I mean, it's 10 minutes in now, but is there a target that you feel like they need to bring down with this ultimate? Let's hold that thought. Top lane, Viper's going to be in trouble. Drops the combo onto BZZ, but it's just it's a measly old Phoenix trading the life, and he doesn't even die in the end. And now Enric might be in trouble as well. He's going to step over to squad, but the coil's still available. To break the coil and just beat away
Well,
his
that's
life.
definitely not where I would look to do with my Enigma when he's got first Black Hole available. I mean, again, Eastern Europe, they just have this habit of holding on to a lot of gold, and I don't like it. It's just so much more that you're giving away as Nesfir gets dived again.
Yeah, he's going to be in trouble. Even Supernova's going to be committed, but he's still in range to tick out. Viper's going to TP in, but they'll get the egg stun, and hang on a second. This Sunray once you're able to group up, it's doing a lot of damage over time. Viper, he just respawned, TP's back out. It's all on Natty Narwhal. It feels like at this stage, this is really getting out of control.
It's a bit silly, isn't it? You know, the walk in just for no reason. I'm not sure what Viper was really expecting him to be able to do against that Supernova. But well, they're going to need to really shape things up. This pause, it feels like, hopefully that means DC, on BZZ, but it's probably going to be X3 that benefit from it the most, right? They, in my eyes, need time to be able to reset and say, okay, guys, let's not get too overwhelmed. Let's try and slow the game down a little bit. We've got the Enigma. We've got this late game. We've got multiple ways to be able to break a Spectre. We've got a Tiny that has the capability of transitioning into a right-clicking core. Our high ground is better. Our push is better. I don't know, like, it just feels like they need to take a deep breath with this moment that they have right now.
Yeah, for X3, I mean, you're going to be looking at the... Really, for them, I think back into this early game is the Tiny Blink on Mr. Natinawa. He's 1-1-1 at the moment. Very, very close to the Blink Dagger. He even has the Pogo Stick to be working with as well. But this is also a hero that does kind of rely on these power runes. And so far, they've all been going the way of Puck. So, I like to see Radiant. It's a bit more difficult. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Even... at 12 minutes in, 14 minutes in, still the emphasis needs to be put on power runes. That could just be an opportunity for you to snipe out a hero, get an invis, get a haste, whatever, make a play off the back of that. You just need some way to be able to buff you up a little bit on X3.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said before, close to the Blink Dagger, also Enigma has the Vladimir's offering if he wants to purchase it right now. So that's going to assist with any kind of push that you're going to be doing with the rest of your team. Obviously important to deal with these lanes, get them pushed out as quickly as you can. Bot lane seems fine for SMN. Mid lane squad just going to look to push in at least one more lane, but let's see what X3 are able to do. They've got the potential to come out on top in these next 5 or so minutes. It's just going to depend on how exactly they're looking to move.
The issue is if they don't convert on this blink timing, though, from Natinawa, then this game really snowballs out of control. So who has to be playing with the Tiny? Where are they going to be getting that kind of that follow-up damage from, maybe, that they're requiring?
I mean,
Dire's top tower
in
is
my
under
eyes, they
attack.
kind of want to be playing top. They want to be getting this tower. They still haven't claimed anything despite having the better
Radiant's
tower
bottom
taking
tower
lineup.
is under attack.
Tria Protector's gone this really aggressive laning build and no points in the living armor. So the time to make this stuff happen is now. And you want to be going towards where the Spectre is as well, because if you don't, she hasn't even skilled the Haunt, but she can, and then just instantly join and make what you thought was an outnumber into
Radiant's bottom tower is
absolutely
under
not that.
attack.
So here we go, top side, but have a look at this. The Observer Ward placed down. I think Natinawa actually outmaneuvered it though, so they're not 100% sure that he's coming up here. It'll still cost him the Pugna, but Retrograde, he's the main target that you want.
See if they're going to be able to blow him up. You'd hope to be able to toss him back to the black hole, but they're unable to do so. Still is able to land the ultimate. Oh no, the Tree Protector! He ran into the black hole, so they weren't able to get the counter. So in the end, a 2-for-2 across the map as the Phoenix goes down bottom as well. And now Nesfear, sensing a sign of weakness, Natinawa's going to jump the squad Puck as well. Trying to join underneath the safety of the tower, waiting room, buying up a little bit of space as well. But Natinawa, one more right click, secures the kill. And now they're going to turn their attention to the Charge Slope. He's got the Familiars back up, ready to rock and roll, but it will not matter. As a Tiny flexing his muscles, showing how much his burst can really prove to be an issue. But they don't have a way to deal with the Supernova. One more right click and they actually find the kill. So X3, they're not even done just yet. Natinawa has still got enough mana for the combination, getting the Tree Protector. Now they've got the break for the Spectre as well. It's 5 go down on Empire, and X3 are able to convert with their blink timing. What a play out of Radiant.
Don't think you could have asked for much more than that. It was really unlucky on the Tree Protector there, landing the black hole, and he just had 2 seconds left on the overgrowth, so he was trying to get the perfect position and just took one step too far. Who knows what could have been different if he was in a slightly better position. Even just the egg, right? Placing it down right in the middle of that team fight meant that they were able to just survive, and well, that's a very big net worth swing going back the favor of X3. Suddenly, that means that not only, of course, do you have the Blink Dagger freshly picked up, he's just got a fresh phase boots as well, so a lot more right-click potential. Now, where do you look to connect to? I mean, you're a Tiny, right? You need to constantly be looking to make these plays, and Rink feels like he's playing the bit of the bait at the moment, but he needs to actually walk back down towards the rest of his team to really have the impact that he's wanting.
And Natty wants to jump. The Arcane in the Arsenal. Find an avenue into the fight.
If he just ran left and down, he probably would have been able to get a pick off. He'd probably still die on the Enigma, but anytime that the Tiny's off the map, especially once he's popped an Arcane rune for the purpose, you gotta be getting these kills. I still want him to go Echo Saber. It's just going to allow him to stay out on the map for so much longer. You could disassemble it eventually as well.
Yeah.
Great against the egg.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think also exactly what you're mentioning with how good it's going to be versus the egg. Top lane, James. Gonna have to drop the overgrowth. Probably not required. I think Sharshley would have just got him the nick of time to be able to cancel that TP with the familiars. But nonetheless, they get a pick off, and James getting closer to his own blink.
Dire are scanning.
Sphere still going for that Battle Fury right now. I suppose it's going to be okay at dealing with the Visage Familiars in some of these team fights if the micro isn't super perfect. Of course, very important at just keeping up in net worth. But speaking of that, the ones in the lead at the moment, the big win of mine is Shachlo. I mean, he doesn't feel like he's been punished at all, and almost up to level 12, so he's going to have the stronger familiars. He nearly has the rate.
Well, he's going to be in trouble. The burn damage coming through the Sunray. All of a sudden, it's maxed out on BZZ. Can they get the DD? Not going to be the case. The threat of the black hole, but great use of the blink out from Mr. Squad. And with all this going on, you see the Spectre kind of we didn't really address too much of his item build going for the Blade Mail route, but this really opens up the Ancients. They did not have an Ancient clearer at all, and Spectre having this maxed out Dispersion and the Blade Mail will really enable him to kind of play around the triangle.
Yep, for sure. Purchase the Battle Fury now on Monkey King. So at least now he's able to, I was about to say rotate back and take some of these stacks that he's built up for himself, but no stacks.
He might be in trouble as well. Squad's gonna jump, wanting to target down the Pugner instead. BZZ still feels like they can put some pressure on. Ooh, BZZ has well and truly committed too far. It's gonna drop the Supernova. They've got the attacks to kill it off, so a bit awkward there from BZZ.
SMN was down to 1 HP as well. Puck tried to get him with the Witchblade damage over time. Wasn't successful. Even Enrink this game. I know you're up against a Treant Protector, but you need that Blink Dagger on the Enigma to be able to follow up on some of the initial stuns, right? Just to be able to get that Boundless Strike onto a Puck, for example, or the Visage, Blink Black Hole. Pretty rare for a Treant to be in the absolute perfect position to be able to counter that.
He is really farmed on Enring.
Yeah.
This Enigma is close to the Tiny's net worth, which you were saying, I guess KDA is not looking good for the Tiny as top lane. Sharshlo should be able to solo kill SMN. Gem's going to step in to offer some assistance. Back to bottom we go. Nadina was in. Now with the Black Hole follow-up. Oh, beautifully done. The 1-2 punch that they've got going at the moment with the Tiny and the Enigma. We're not done, though. Top lane, Treant Protector's going to go down. I don't believe Sharshlo can get the kill onto the Viper, especially with how close he is to the T1 tower. Maybe Sharshlo's actually overstepped the mark a bit. Nesfear, keeping top. Offer some aggression now. +2 bounty.
Thought he was running a little bit low on mana. They're going to be able to clean up at least one of these familiars. God, it's taken a while, though. Okay, maybe not. Very balanced.
No, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. That's fair. Just gonna get off the cliff. So it's X3. Net worth advantage. A lot of it's coming through, of course, the Enigma and how farmed he's getting across the map. I've got to say, still, the Viper as well. He's getting relatively farmed. Like, I was a bit concerned that he might be killed kind of time and time again, that he was occurring, but we've seen him get active and get involved in a couple of these past fights, and it's really helping out with his net worth.
And we'll quickly clear out this mid lane, but he's actually getting gone on by this combination. Of course, the Phoenix with the Sunray, able to do a ton of damage against the Tiny, and yeah, the perfect fight to look to connect through to on the Spectre. He actually comes back towards top.
SMN.
Yeah, just another free kill.
Alright, there you go. Retrogate gets involved with a double kill. So it's getting him closer to the Manta, which is going to buff up his farming rate. It's also opening up the tier 1 tower to be claimed as well for Empire.
Yeah, I was going to comment on it before the team fight broke out, but I understand the choice to go the BKB route on both the Tiny and the Viper. Monkey King going into his as well, right? It's so important against this very heavy magic build. It make you not have to care about the Dream Coil, means that you've got an answer to Overgrowth. You don't care really about the Visage at all. Supernova always going to be able to hit that. I feel like they really need some additional burst damage coming through. And to me, Echo Saber is the one, both on the Viper and on the Tiny.
I think, yeah, maybe they're just concerned that if they don't go BKBs now, this, especially for the Tiny in particular, that we've seen what Sunray can do to this hero. It's just,
yeah,
what is it, 6.25% max HP. It didn't even go over the spell pump as well. Retrograde. Sunray's out.
Easy
now
Z.
with a bonus heal. Nah, they're not going to be able to kill the Spectre. You got to get out. You got to get out on X3, but the coil is going to lock him into the middle of the fight. BZZ is going to try and find an angle to drop the Supernova as well. Viper's going to turn his attention to bring it down. A defensive use of the Overgrowth as well. Make sure there is no opportunity as X3 will crumble under the teamfight ultimates one after another. They all end up falling as Squad will finish the fight off the back of the triple kill, and now Empire are considering Roshan with the Manta on Retrograde.
Yeah, Manta, Blade Mail, very quick wait to be able to take it, but BZZ take a bow. He was instantly there with the Sunray, the second that they make an aggressive attempt onto the Spectre. I really think that they got the target prioritization wrong. I think when there's barely anyone revealing on the map, Spectre's not the one that you want to be focusing, especially a Blade Mail Spectre, even prior to that damage coming through with the Sunray, with the Supernova eventually. It just took off way too much of their HP to go onto the Spectre.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'll take that.
How close are we these items for Radiant? One component on the Tiny. Viper's very close to BKB recipe, and Monkey King just needs it. Yeah, so pretty much all three cores are just looking for that last component. So if they can stall this out for the next 2 minutes, Enring? Actually trying to bring down Squad, but the Aegis has got the Black Hole, so it's got to commit it, but Squad blinks out. Black Hole for one, and now the Enigma killed off. They're not even going to get a kill. They will not even get a kill as Natty Narwhal's chased down as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's
This just feels like desperation, right? Like, you know that they can just be so much more effective if they get literally 500 more gold, but instead, they're just feeding kill after kill after kill. This is the experience of Empire showing, particularly on the long-standing members like BZZ. He'd be the one making the calls. It always seems like he's in the right place at the right time.
This is
They're crumbling.
scary. Yeah, you've got AC almost on Shashlo as well, and he has that 15 talent, so these towers are gonna fall pretty goddamn fast. And you have ultimates pretty much back up on Dire. We saw what the combo can
there's
do.
no black hole.
Yeah. Why stop?
I wonder if he might just drop the Midnight Pulse here, Enring, just to push him away, but then you're like, well, we don't really care about pushing on forward. Looks like they've been able to push him away just with the use of the glyph. But again, just finish the BKBs. It's as simple as that, honestly. You've got it now finished on the Monkey King, who spent all of this time farming. Viper feels like he's been 300-400 gold away for the past 3 minutes now. Tiny still needs about 1,000 gold to be able to pick up his, but I mean, this is just the reality of the situation. You need to make sure that you're not fighting into Aegis if you can afford it, and you need to have the tools to actually win the team fight rather than hope to win a team fight.
Oh, Enring gonna be the first to go down. I guess without Black Hole, it's not the most important pick-off, but they should be able to transition this into a tier 2 tower.
If they're able to use it to let the cores farm, like, that got Viper's BKB, so it's okay. Especially, as you mentioned, there's no black hole available on the Enigma. The key one for mine, though, is still that Tiny. He needs it.
They're on to Nesphir. James, just maybe stopping. Oh, he's gonna Wook. Oh no. All right, well, no Wukongs and maybe no.
And he thinks he
Fireball?
can't overgrowth. He thinks he can't overgrowth. TP
Now
because he'll
gonna
overgrowth.
jump in. Okay, blows up the Phoenix. Very nicely done, Tiny. Seeing a window where he's able to get one pick off to start the fight.
Not too bad, not too bad. Look to try and take out these familiars, but won't be too
Retrograde's
successful.
alone. Spectre, keep in mind, they didn't give the Aegis over to Retrograde. He's going to stand his ground to try and man fight. It's a lot of damage to start, but as soon as the BKB comes out, Nesfi is going to be fine. Dyer, can you turn this around? James is going to consider Blink in the middle with the overgrowth, but doesn't require it as now they're on to Natty Narwhal. Avalanche to buy some time for the Blink to come up, but the damage over time will prevent this. As Sharshlo secures the double, is up to an unstoppable streak on the Visage.
Top of the net worth as well. At least you were able to kill the Spectre though, right? There's small little victories coming through. But I'm still stunned that they haven't been able to take out this mid-tier 1 tower. They're even going to make the play.
Oh no, they tried
No BKB.
Yeah, well, Squad's even body block him as well, so he stays in range of the Supernova. And now their high ground's in shambles as well. We spoke about the AC and the Visage level 15, and these buildings will fall quite fast. Oh,
Just wait until he gets the boots of bearing as well.
James? I'll lose the Treant Protector until Squad comes into safety. He still has the Aegis for another 15 seconds. Maybe Enric can time this on the respawn. To get the Jaunt out. Natty Narwhal's hunting though with a poison attack slow, but a beautiful Nature's Grasp stops Natty Narwhal from closing the distance, but still, you've got to respect the Aegis. Squad is able to get enough regen off the back of this, and now it's a defensive BKB, but the important thing is they're onto the Enigma on the backline. The Horn preventing a blink in, the overgrowth as well, so they're back in shambles, protected from the fountain for a little while longer.
We're even able to make...
I
mean, they've already used the blink dagger on Enric though.
Yeah,
it almost is worth it.
We'll see, Sharshlo.
This is a...
Did you drop the
It's a
black
Visage
hole?
that's 12 and 2. He's 12 and 2.
Oh, you got the Sunray now as well. And Nesvi, he can't even stand his ground versus Retrograde. It's just 100% probability. So look, I was saying game 3 was going to be close.
It was.
Oh yeah,
Until
yeah.
they went without BKBs into a Spectre that had no teammates showing on the map.
I'll take that.
No. One last fight, it feels like. Enigma, can he get a crazy black hole? The ultimates are on cooldown for Empire. So they're just playing off the raw power in regards to the net worth lead. But Sharshlo just rips apart the Tiny, and he does not have a buyback for this defense.
They're just not playing together. I mean, Enric was on defense duty at that point in time, and you've got a Tiny sitting down on the low ground.
Phase shift instantly, now with the Sunray once again. So the damage, it's minimal at best. They get
Where's
no
the teamwork, Ares?
No, it's not there. It's not being shown. Like, Viper's trying to split. He's trying to cut the wave, but they've got creeps inside.
He's got a Treant following him as well.
It's Megas. Natty Narwhal's going to jump one last fight. Wukong's on cooldown for another 15. Nesfi's going to try and target the backline, but he's got no control. Phoenix just dives to one side, a BKB, but they are just running them across the map. He'll TP out, it will not matter, and that is GG. Empire.
What was that?
No, I don't know. I don't want to call you out. That's it. I don't want to call you out, so I'm just being polite.
18 minutes in, it was basically a 50-50 win probability. And they just took like 5 horrendous fights over and over again on X3. There's a reason that you were going for BKBs instead of something that was able to keep you out on the map and continue farming like the Echo Saber. But they just didn't buy it. And then they just ran into these heroes. They didn't punish Shatchler again. Like, this Visage was just allowed to have a free game, essentially. And, yeah. What more can you say?
You can say I was right, and Ares made a spectacular.
You were correct in your prediction. but it was because it was a smart prediction.
He's so cut. He's so cut. I was so
Cut
right
the
as
cameras.
well. I was so right. Oh my. Nah, what the heck? What do you mean? Empire. That game just
I wasn't expecting Empire to win the series coming into today, though. Like, that's the
Okay.
other aspect that was probably lingering in my mind. You know, the newer formed roster, at least this combination. Of course, they've got a better supporting background, I suppose, but certainly, at least in terms of third-party events, their results in recent times haven't been quite as good as X3's. But honestly, it felt like the teams just they didn't function together in all of the games that they lost. It was just a complete. I'm going to use crumbling again, but the teamwork just didn't happen. They all crumbled. They were doing their own things. Even just that black hole at the end, right? Where was the follow up? Where was the damage coming through? It just was not there.
We did definitely see the teamwork in previous games. Just unfortunately, that game it wasn't able to come into fruition. Like you said, they've also had a lot of success recently in some other tournaments. So for X3, first series, some signs of life, but also some things that need to be worked on for the long tour that we have at the moment. For Empire, though, this is a beautiful start for them, of course, beating and toppling one of the open qualifier teams, of course, X3 and Amiga, two of the open qualifier teams in Eastern Europe. So Empire, honestly, this is not an easy Division 2 at all. Like, you've got Hellraisers and PuckChamp that have been dropped down. There's been one change with Hellraisers, no Limitless anymore, and Miro has joined from, I cannot remember now. Was it CIS Rejects? I'm pretty sure he was. Yes, CIS Rejects. No Sorry just beat VP. Was it? Who they beat?
No.
Who did No Sorry just beat in D2CL? They just won the grand finals. They just looked really good. Yes, it was.
Maybe it was.
Yes, it was. Outsiders. So No Sorry's not a no joke of a team. I mean, Hydra, we've seen kind of a new roster. So honestly, like, you need to. We were speaking about this in our early series for Southeast Asia, where TNC lost to the open qualifier team in Summit. You got to get every series victory, like against a team like an open qualifier team. Nothing bad to say against them, but on the caliber like these orgs are, if you want to be promoted to Division 1, there's no messing around. You got to get your series victories. It's just as simple as that. And for Empire, on this day, they're able to prove that they're just still a little bit stronger.
Teamwork. That's what I want to see more from both of these teams, to be honest. I noticed real collapses in teamwork where it just felt like everyone started treating it like a pub, as if they were the ones to 1v5 carry a game. And it might have been enough for Team Empire this game, but it's not going to cut it against some of those, higher caliber opponents in PuckChamp, in Hellraisers, in No Sorry, so it's like, what do you do? What do you do against these opponents? You got to put in the work, and I think for both of these teams, the next match that they play is going to be on a new patch, so it's a good chance to wipe the slate clean and put your best foot forward from there.
Yes. I think in general, I'm trying to look as well when
There might be one more game, potentially. June 8th, I think there are some games, but whether that's June 8th before the patch drops or June 8th after, who knows?
Yes. Yeah, I've got June 9th that I have. We've got June 9th is 3 days for Eastern Europe. We've got 2 Division 2 games, and then kicking off Division 1 with Na'Vi against CIS Rejects. So that's going to be high. Na'Vi versus CIS Rejects. I mean, of course, it's a new look on CIS Rejects, but we did see in the 2-2 finals with the battle back and forth. I mean, they had 2 series against each other, so that's very exciting.
Yes.
For us today, it's been a long day. It's 2:40 a.m. for both Matt and I, for both Danog and I. So we will have no interview by the looks of it, unfortunately. But yes, from people coming over from Southeast Asia earlier, if you're still following that, we saw TNC drop their series to Summit Gaming 2-1. And then we see in Eastern Europe, it's Empire taking the series over X3 in 2-1 fashion as well. So we're going to be done and dusted for DPC for quite a little bit of time. We will be back in 2 days for Southeast Asia, And
Is it 2 days? Is there anything on tomorrow for
there is actually, because we're in
Div
the
1?
yeah, man. Yes, you're right. We are back tomorrow for Southeast Asia Div 1, and I believe a Div 2 game as well. And the day after, we should be back for Eastern Europe. Liquipedia is your best friend. Head over there. It'll have all the time zones for you guys. But at the end of the day, it's going to be Empire taking the series 2-1. And we'll see you guys back shortly for some more Eastern Europe DPC Summer Tour action.
Night.